Okay. All right. Plug this bad boy in. Nobody will mind, hopefully.
If everybody realizes we're on earlier today than normal. Of course, there's no new. This is the new normal. It's not the old normal. This is the new normal for History Loves Company.
Sorry, I'm just watching things. Let me see. There we go.
Get logged in. Make sure we're up and live and running. Yep.
Yep.
All right.
I see.
People here.
I see the eyes.
All right. Say hello.
Anna,
hey,
can you hear us? I was just about to text you. You're on it.
Yes. It is a muggy but pleasant day today.
Yeah.
Since we start out most of our lives with the little weather report. Weather's going to play an important part into later in the conversation, I believe.
Well, I think it plays an important part. Okay, good. With any festival,
it does.
It is number one.
It sure does.
And
so it's been a minute since we've been out here.
I thought about the last one we did, and we were inside. So yeah, it's been a minute since we've been out.
Yeah, and since we filmed. So for over a year during COVID, for those who weren't aware, we did every week History Loves Company episodes. We took you out to different places around the county, different places of historic interest to talk about the history, because a lot of people were stuck inside at home and we were able to get out. So it was something that we could do for the community and something that was fun for us too.
Yes.
I mean, let's not lie, we enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so now with things a little bit different in the office, we're getting back involved in more activities. We've got, speaking of festivals, we've got one coming up we're going to mention, and a lot more things coming up from the museum. So that means that our time is being utilized otherwise. So we're not weekly anymore, but we still want, this program is so fantastic, and we appreciate your support for over a year, and we want to keep doing these. So that's why we're doing this. And with that long introduction, let's start it. This is...
Go ahead. Okay, good. No, I thought you were going to go somewhere else. Yes, I got you.
This is History Loves Company.
There we go. Yeah.
With Amy Reed, Museum Director, and
Christa McKay, Museum Collections Manager. So, so History Loves Company, you will get one live one per month, and then hopefully a pre-recorded one in one of our cemeteries on our special History Loves Company Tombstone Tourism Tour.
That's right.
So you will get two a month.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, Judy. Well, you'll get two a month, one live, and hopefully one pre-recorded.
Yeah, we got to keep those cemeteries going, because if you remember, for those who've been loyal viewers, we started that project of following the first 100 years of Cobb County by Sarah Temple. She lists all. I mean, she wrote this in 1936.
It was published in 36, so she was going through in
the
30 and 31. Yeah,
and documenting all the cemeteries around Cobb County.
Hi, Rick.
All of the predominantly white cemeteries in Cobb County. But we are trying to follow in her footsteps and go to these cemeteries. First, we see if we can follow her directions, which are not always easy to do.
We've been good so far, but we haven't gotten to the ones that are going to be tougher.
Like, out there. But anyway, so that's that. Those, when she mentions the cemetery tours, that's what we're talking about. A lot of the ones we've hit so far are in Smyrna. So if you're interested in watching those, go back and find those videos. And we'll be hitting other parts of the county as we can. So
the next one should be out in the Sandy Plains area.
Okay.
So more in East Cobb. But yeah. So today we're talking about festivals. That's why we're on the square, and how important festivals are to not just the businesses on the square, but a community as a whole.
Absolutely.
If you're somebody like Amy and I who live off of the square and live out of Marietta, the only time you might come to Marietta is for a festival.
Maybe, yeah, especially back in the day.
Back in the day.
There's a lot more to do on the square now.
Yes,
a lot of people
for sure.
come, but back in the day, I mean, festivals have been a part of our community since the very beginning.
Yes.
It's just a form of entertainment, a form of camaraderie, a form of selling. It keeps the economy going strong. It's just a great all-around thing to have, and I'd like to say that Marietta does it best. I mean, we've got so many fantastic festivals. It's insane.
It is. So starting this, I was like, how far back is a festival in Marietta? I put that in quotes because sometimes you'll see them referred to as a social.
Yeah.
but it really has the elements of a festival. And I'm not talking about the fair. I'm talking about festivals on the square. So definitely after the Civil War, what you see is a lot of festivals that are social gatherings to help raise money.
Okay.
Which is something that we understand very well with our festival.
Well, to be honest, that's what a lot of festivals still are.
That's true.
Most festivals that you go to, they are raising funds for somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the earliest ones I saw were festivals for a lot of the churches.
Okay.
And ice cream socials.
Okay.
In order to help rebuild their church after the war, maybe, get new parts of the building. But the other one that I thought was really interesting was a festival, another ice cream social. Because again, it wasn't, you go over to the grocery store, buy ice cream.
No.
You're going to make it and you're going to do it.
What are you talking here? 1860s?
1870s, late 1870s.
1870s.
Yeah.
Yeah, ice cream. We don't have freezers yet, so it was a pretty hot commodity. Hot, cold.
Hot, cold
It
commodity.
was so cold it was hot.
There you go. That's it.
It was like, what's the ice that's super hot?
I was like dry ice?
Like dry ice. I don't know. Anyways.
Well, the one I was really looking at was an ice cream social to help raise money for the Hook and Ladder Fire Company.
Oh,
because they needed equipment.
Yes.
Yes. Could you imagine our fire company, our fire guys, not having the tools that they need?
Yeah.
And so you have to have an ice cream social to do it.
I wonder if that tied in with the competition that they had. They used to have a hook and ladder competition, and we know this because the ribbons that some of them won are sewn inside one of our crazy quilts that we have in our collection.
Yes.
And it says like 18, I think that one has 1870s,
no,
1880s.
It's 1883.
1883, yeah. Is that the same?
I believe
Festival?
so.
Like, did they combine the festival with the competition, do you think?
It might have been. I'd have to go look at it.
Okay.
Is that one on display right now?
No.
I couldn't remember because quilts are almost done. So FYI, if you haven't seen it, come and see it. But so yeah,
Hey, Rick.
Yeah, so the first festivals really are social gatherings, usually to raise money for either the church or the fire. This truck is really annoying me right now. Sorry if you could hear it beeping.
Can you do something about that?
We're yelling at PD
We're
to
trying
help.
to film. Tell them to shut up.
Big shout out to Marietta PD too, because
Thanks.
many festivals around here do not happen without PD and fire being out here. So, and continuing along, I'm not talking about parades, because oftentimes a parade doesn't necessarily include the festival aspects.
Some festivals can include a parade, but not all parades include a festival.
There you go. So continuing on and looking at the square, I kind of jumped to after World War II.
Oh.
Because the other ones were mainly fairs or almost like the North Georgia Fair. Like a farming agricultural fair versus
and they had
a
the
festival.
Fairgrounds, which we've mentioned before,
Yes.
a couple of places.
A couple of different places.
One wasn't it at the Hilton Conference Center? They had the fairgrounds there for a little bit?
There was someone over there. There was one down Canton Road. There was one at
Larry Bell Park.
and now where they're at.
Okay.
The other events were usually, if you've ever seen those pictures of the cotton wagons, that's not really a festival.
No. Those are people coming to the square to sell their wares.
Right.
Yeah.
But later there's a festival that pays homage to that, which I'll talk about in a minute. So looking at festivals, you really have to break it down by art festivals, history festivals, and then Halloween festivals.
Okay.
So
now, by history, would you say straight history or heritage?
I would probably say heritage. You probably are right on that. Or maybe almost a commemoration, like hearkening back to remembering. So we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
So art festivals, if you're not familiar with the biggest one that still goes on, is Art in the Park. That was 2 weeks ago, Labor Day weekend. That is a great art festival. If you've not been to it, I highly suggest.
They've done it,
more than 30 years.
35 years, I
Probably
think.
more than that. But yeah, that was 2 weekends ago. It's always Labor Day weekend. And then you see, there was actually a children's art fest in the 90s that the Art Museum actually put on.
Oh, fun.
Yes. But the Art Museum doesn't do that one anymore.
What was that a chance for child artists to show off and sell their wares?
I don't know
just
if it was just show off, but also like do art for kids, like face painting and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But the art museum doesn't do that festival anymore because they do Chalktoberfest, which is in October. And that
you have to be living under a rock if you don't know about that one.
That one is amazing, and that is a fundraiser for the art museum.
Yes, it is.
So going into that whole idea of a festival's not just put on to have people come. It's put on to raise money, awareness.
You're supporting
and
all of
support.
these entities by coming out and just being there at the festival. You're supporting that particular group or organization that's raising the money. And so Chalktoberfest.
Yes, it used to be called Chalkfest. Yeah.
Yeah, Chalkfest. Now it's Chalktoberfest because not only do they have the chalk art, but they added the beer. And if you add alcohol, they will come.
They will come. So if you're interested in learning about that one, we highly suggest going to the Art Museum's website because they host that event. Now, before I skip to history, I'm not mentioning Taste of Marietta, but that is another festival that is a food-based festival. That is a big one, too. The reason I'm not mentioning, like, going full-on into that is because, one, it's not our festival. Two, I wanted to make sure I got to the Halloween stuff, and we're going to talk about our festival as well, so I didn't want to go over time.
But you know what I will mention for Taste, when you look at the history of Taste of Marietta, I've not researched this to confirm it, but I believe that is the first. I mean, it's been going on for a while.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the first one, any taste of anything in our area that happened. They kind of brought it about first because now you've got Taste of Smyrna, Taste of Acworth, you've got Taste of everywhere, but I believe Taste of Marietta was the first one.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there knows and started going to them, back when they started, let us know, but I'm pretty sure that's that.
Art in the Park is actually a event that is hosted by the Marietta Business Association, so they do get. Thank you, Ashley, for the stars. I forgot to mention stars are enabled. We appreciate that. Thank you. Stars are another great way to help this program and other programs that we do at the museum. But yes, the question about Art in the Park, it is Marietta Business Association, so that helps promote them, and they are the ones that benefit. But it doesn't actually go to like a museum around the square, if you're wondering about that.
And the Business Association is they're a group of local business owners who basically help to bring more business and economy to Marietta.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And the Business Association oftentimes will take the money they get from Art in the Park and help support us or grants and things like that. So that's kind of how it works. So we've talked a little bit about art ones. And actually, I'm going to turn the camera around really quick because I wanted to mention for you guys, if you've not seen this art wall right here, that is from Chalktoberfest, and I bet you they'll have some new ones up after it occurs in the second weekend in October.
Do you know who that one on the far left is?
The man?
Yes.
That is, I believe, Ray Warden.
Oh, okay. Because it really looks like
the framer who passed away.
Yes, that's right. Okay. Well, I never met him, but that particular one, every time I see it, I think of Kevin. What's his name? From King of Queens.
Oh, darn it.
Kevin James.
Kevin James. I was
I'm like, is that a portrait of Kevin James?
It does look like him. A little bit skinnier in the face, though.
Yeah, that's true.
So the history ones, or heritage, commemoration, whatever you want to call it.
Well, let's specify. The reason I asked about heritage is because, generally speaking, a festival is there to celebrate or commemorate something positive that happened in history, and generally speaking. And heritage, we've heard it coined, which I love this saying. It was Sheffield Hale, I think, that said this.
At the Atlanta
History Center, that heritage is pretty much history without all the bad stuff, and that's one way of looking at heritage.
Right.
So that's where I was going with that.
Oh, I understand.
Because a lot of festivals aren't celebrating or commemorating the negative parts or the more unpretty parts of history.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So the first two that I really want to mention do not happen anymore. The second two continue, are still going on. So the first one, if anybody was around the square in the 70s, there was one called Cotton Days, and then there was another one called Founders Day, and they were almost back to back.
Okay.
So I do actually have pictures of these events from our collection. So Hold on a second. Let me undo this. I wanted to
hold
read
something.
this. Yes, please. I wanted to read this article kind of describing both of them. If you'll take that.
Yep.
And then the pictures are right behind those line papers. 2 major annual events which draw visitors to Marietta from around the state are Cotton Days, held during the first weekend in October, and Founders Day, held the last weekend in May. Sorry, they're opposite. My bad. I thought they were back to back, but they're not. Cotton Days focuses the attention on the city's past prominence when cotton was king. So that's talking more of that heritage you're saying.
Yep.
There's obviously no discussion about enslavement of people and who worked the fields, anything like that. Local merchants dress in costumes representing the 1880s. So that's post-war. So that really actually goes more towards the pictures you see of the wagons with the cotton around the
Yes.
square after
Yes.
the Civil War.
Right.
And then the Cotton Days parade brings back a bygone time when mule and wagon was the major mode of transportation. You might be able to find a picture of that.
I do see, are these truly mules? I guess they might be. Yeah, here's the first one. So these are all from Founders Day,
like 1979.
1979. Okay, and this is West Park behind it, West Park and Mill Street. So right over here where we're at, we can show you. All right, so this building here, which is Leaders, is now the ballet.
Yeah, the dance
That's
company.
the ballet building. And then this over here is the Mill Street, goes this way. So it looks opposite to me in the camera. I don't know if it will to y'all or not, but that's what that is. Then, let's see, we've got another one with the,
Same time.
let's see if it says who. No, it doesn't say who. Man and woman in the seats. So mule, wagon. This is Joanne, so that is East Park, so that's where the courthouse is now. There were shops. There was a whole row of...
No, not
Oh, wait a minute,
1979.
sorry. 79, my bad. You're right, because I recognize that. That's La Familia.
Yep.
It's West Park. Sorry. It looks,
No,
look at that.
Piastra.
Piastra. Dang it. I am like...
She is way old school
Time
today.
warp, y'all. Sorry. Let's show where that is, though, since we're right here and you can see it. Hold on a second.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. All right. Can y'all see? Where's my hand? That right there? Yep. See that with the little gable right there? Hey, look at this. There it is. Right there. 1979. Fabulous. Okay. Next, we have another one, Hardy Studios, same West Park. So it's just down a little bit on West Park.
Where DK Gallery is now.
Yes.
Is what Hardy Studios.
We need to show those students this picture. We've got a bunch of KSU architecture students who are researching a whole bunch of buildings around the square.
I
and
printed this one because I felt it might give you, you're not that old, I'm not saying this, but it has memories for you. I know.
I mean, I could do a demonstration. I mean, all right. This is cloggers on the square during the Founders Day parade. Joanne and Leader stores are in the background. So if any of y'all out there live in Kennesaw now, or if you are from Kennesaw, when you talk about Kennesaw history, you have to talk about the Little General Cloggers, which they still go to all the festivals, the Big Shanty Festival, that you still have cloggers up there.
Yep.
So if you want to see some good clogging, you go to a festival in Kennesaw and they'll show you. Anytime I hear
Oh, Lord.
Rocky Top come on, even though I'm not a Tennessee fan, could care less about that, I got to get some clogging going. Hold on, let me go this way. Good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. There we go. This is how I'm rolling into the weekend.
That wasn't too shabby, I have to admit.
That's
major
how I'm
props,
rolling into the weekend.
Major
And-
props to you.
And I did that after breaking my tailbone 2 weeks ago. See? I'm good. I got this.
Okay, this one is a different,
Overhead shot of the square
Yeah.
at the corner of West Park and North Park.
hold on, this is
There are
like all the
antiques,
vendors from like the businesses around the square. That's what I was
antiques
trying
and
to say.
other vintage items in the square for sale as part of the Founders Day events. Right here. Look at all those antiques. I bet there were some fabulous antiques at that point.
Okay, so this is Founders Day. The first ones were Cotton Days. This is Founders Day in May.
They all said Founders Day.
Oh, the other ones were Cotton Days. I
okay.
have that.
Okay.
Hold on to your seat. Sometimes I'm wrong. Oh crap, everybody. Don't let the world know that sometimes. Also,
I don't believe it.
I know. Also, sometimes these are from our collection, so sometimes
good.
when I enter them in, I find out later that it was incorrect. But don't
That's
tell
okay. We're human.
But
We're all
hey,
human.
I was down to 2. So hold on, let me describe. Founders Day is annually celebrates Marietta's incorporation as a village in 1834. It also had wagon tours of historic sites, outdoor barbecues, hot air balloons.
Whoa, where would you put a hot air balloon on the square?
Yeah.
Were there no trees?
I don't know. Oh,
That's
thank you for the
crazy.
stars for her
Hey,
clogging.
who gave that? I got it.
Oh,
Thank
Katie,
you.
thank
Thank you, Katie. Oh my goodness.
Obviously, you need to dance in more videos.
That's right.
Man.
First time I made money for dancing. I swear. Swear it's the first time.
Sure. But this next picture is of that same festival with the old gazebo in it. But I think we should bring this back.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing, and I agree 100%. Kids roller skating in the square. So it looks like they have some sort of a platform up that they put so it's smooth. Because I would not.
This
I don't
one,
know.
where we're at right now, wasn't in here.
No.
That's why there's more space.
Yeah,
to do
there's
it.
more space. This gazebo that's there, that was original to the park for many years. I mean, decades and almost a century. And it's now at Brown Park over by the
cemetery,
the city cemetery.
Yeah.
So yeah, roller skating definitely.
I know. I thought that was really a good one.
That's a great idea.
So, what they end up doing later is moving the festivals kind of off the square and more towards our building in Atherton. So, thank you to the Parks and Rec Department for these lovely slides that I've scanned in.
Yeah, here,
but you can see some of these are the 80s. So this is the Kennesaw House. This is the Welcome Center. They got all these vendors with different stuff. But look at these wreaths. It's when the Kennesaw House was brickworks. But what I find hilarious is they lined what is now the trail with tables and crafts. The train literally is right there.
Oh,
and,
wow.
I mean, it's really close. Hold on. Not that one. This one's my personal favorite. Okay. Do you know where the Marietta sign is? The big fluorescent one on the corner of Tycoon. That
fluorescent?
Big,
you mean painted, the colorful one.
Colorful one.
Yes, the painted
The
Marietta.
rainbow one. Let's call it rainbow.
Yes.
This is that building in the 80s, and it says... I can't even read that.
Something hardware
Oh, no, it's
store.
the hardware store, Marietta, and then it has
best. I think it says best. Does it say best? No.
No. Hardware... Oh, maybe.
Something
Our
is first
hardware store in Marietta.
That's it.
And then Glidden Paint.
Yeah.
So that was... Okay, so for as long as you and I have been working here, I think that wall was yellow. Mm-hmm. And then it has this Marietta rainbow sign. But this was that was there in the 80s.
That's really cool. Look at how far we've come. If you look at pictures of the square during the 80s anywhere around the square, it's come a long way, folks.
Yeah, for sure.
It really has. So props to all the people, all the city council members and mayors and city staff over the last, say, 4 decades that have put the work and effort into building the square to what it is today, because it did not look like that for a good period of time. It was not the prettiest place in the world.
So I think the Founders Day ended up kind of turning into Marietta Days.
Okay.
Which that is a city-sponsored
we still
festival.
have,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
I think they're planning on next year, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
But 2 heritage-based festivals. The first one that is a great one, and it happens in June, is Juneteenth.
Yes.
That is a festival that helps to honor and remember and celebrate June 19th, the day that the last enslaved people were free in 1865. In Texas. And so that festival is usually a Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. Lots of great things. If you've never come to a Juneteenth, Amy and I highly recommend you come. Great music. Great atmosphere, great everything. So yeah, we highly recommend you come out to that. So that's usually, obviously in June, as close to the 19th as they can get. And then the other one is actually our festival, because when it first started, it was an antique street festival.
Yes, it was.
So Marietta Street Fest is what we host, and will be happening this weekend.
This weekend. Come see us. All day Saturday, from 9 to 5, and Sunday from 11 to 5. Got it.
Yes. So this festival, we're actually in our 30th year.
Crazy.
I know.
I haven't been working it for 30
No,
years.
I haven't either.
I've been working it a lot, but not 30.
We're at like, well, for car show, about 16.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
so almost, half of it. So what we do for Street Fest, let's start with the origins. It started as an antique street festival because if you ever came to Marietta in the 90s and into the early 2000s, even maybe up to like the recession, 2008-ish, there were a lot more antique shops on the square.
Shops. Yeah.
And so they wanted to have at first it was a sidewalk sale, and then it became a festival where they would sell antiques. So here is one of the antique owners, and she's got her stuff out here.
Does it have her name?
It does. It is Ann Militatis, which I am probably not pronouncing that right, but my apologies. But the whole idea was to promote the shops and sell some of the antiques, because a lot of times, I know for me, going in an antique store can be rather overwhelming. So you bring it out, less stuff, people might be like, okay, I see this, let me go inside. Very, very cool. And so I was looking at all of this, but it literally started around the square, and then kind of moved inward.
Okay.
And then we joined in 2005.
I don't remember.
Let's go with that.
Sure.
I mean, not the first year you and I were working. That would have been 04. So 2005, 2006. Let's go somewhere around there.
Yeah.
We started because this was an event originally put on by the business owners around here. We joined in providing a classic car show. And then a couple years later, we took over the whole festival, and we changed the name to Marietta Street Fest. We continue with the car show. If you love classic cars, or even if you have one,
yes,
we will be, because she'll be somewhere else. We will be on South Park Square, which I'll show you in a minute.
Tomorrow.
Yes. Car show, Saturday only.
Yes.
Street Fest, Saturday and Sunday,
That's
as
right.
she just mentioned. I
Yes.
can't repeat that enough.
Yes. Our show is only Saturday.
Only Saturday.
And I think we're going to have a good turnout.
We will.
I feel really good about that. Weather, you always got to worry about weather, but I think we're going to have luck on our side.
If it's like this, we'll be
gonna
fine.
Be lucky. Yes.
So the point of the festival, one, is to not only bring people out to the square, shop the businesses, eat at the restaurants, but it is our biggest fundraiser of the year.
Yes. This
So,
is it.
this is it.
A big one for us.
Yes. And by you, one,
Just coming out, you're supporting us.
supporting us.
Because we've received some money from sponsors, and they want to sponsor us because people come out to see it. So please help us do your part and just come.
Just come.
That's all we ask.
Amy will be at our book sale tent. We will have
Yes.
books available for $1 to $2. Amy loves to make a deal, so if
I
you
sure do.
if you want to buy a lot, she'll make a deal.
We have boxes and boxes and boxes. If you've never been to one of our book sales, it's a ton of books, and they're all used books, but still fantastic books all over the place. And I don't want to carry them all back, so the more we sell, the better. So I will work some deals for
Yes.
sure.
And then we'll also have a museum store tent with some select items. You know what I didn't bring with us?
A little chicken.
I forgot my
Dang it.
little chicken.
Yes.
We will
Maybe
have.
Anna can post a picture. Of the
If you
little
have
chicken.
not seen our Beanie Baby little chickens, little big chickens.
Yeah.
we
And they're
will-
not technically Beanie Baby
No,
brand.
they're Beanie Baby-esque.
So they're beanie chickens. Let's just call them beanie chickens.
Fair
Yes.
enough. We will have them available pretty much everywhere. At our tents, the museum, the car show, they're $5 each. Cash is preferred. The car show will only be able to do cash on that, but we
We'll
do.
have a credit card reader.
Not for me, but you will.
I do. I got.
She's
I got
it.
you.
Or you can go
I'll
in the
take your
museum
money.
store. That's the other part too. Since we have great sponsors and we have
Yes.
such great amount of people that come and visit, the museum is open for free Saturday 10 to 4 and Sunday noon to 4. So you
Yes.
can come.
Free admission.
Free admission. If you have yet to see the quilt exhibit, now is the time because that will be coming down in a couple of weeks. So yes, support us. Come in, say hey. We'll be everywhere.
Yes.
So
Let's get to the finale festivals.
I wanted to end on Halloween.
Okay.
Because if you're somebody who was around Marietta in the 1980s, you might remember the, I want to get this right, Mass Squarade.
Masquerade.
That's a hard one to say.
That is hard. That's a tongue twister.
Look at that.
Whoa. Looks like my house.
I know, it totally does look at your house. Keith, what kind of books? Fiction, nonfiction. Majority of them are used.
All kinds.
There could be, yeah.
Hardback, softbound. We've got them all. We've got, yeah.
And there are some kids' books in there too.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
had asked about kids' books. Not a whole lot, but we do have some. So this is what this Masquerade was. It is, the idea was that the Downtown Marietta Development Authority and Parks and Rec and all these other ones would have people come up. There was a haunted house kind of behind where that hardware store was, where like Tycoon was. There was a haunted house you could go in.
Behind it?
Well, yeah. The house is behind the Marietta hardware store off of Mill Street.
Interesting. Like the Spring. where
Yeah,
Spring
maybe that
is?
back-
That
yeah,
building
yeah,
in
yeah.
Spring?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it will operate, but there's children's events starting at 1, including a pumpkin carving contest. Love to see the knives on that one from the 1980s. No safety knives for us.
I know, right? That's the truth.
So there's trick-or-treating. There was trick-or-treating, and then there was a $500 prize for the adult costume contest, and that began at 8:30. That's a little late. Makes me wonder about the costumes.
It's adults. I mean,
And then, here you go. Adult street dancing begins at 8
wait,
p.m.
street or streak?
No, street.
Oh, okay.
With a T.
Streaking was a big thing in the 70s.
for sure.
So I just want to make sure we're clear. Hold on.
Adult street dance begins at 8 p.m. and ends at midnight. You could take your clogging out there. You could have done that.
Street dancing. I love it.
I know, right?
Yes.
So this is like 83, 84.
Okay.
So the first year goes good. People are enjoying it. Second year is when gets a little tough. It says
crazy.
masquerade violence upsetting to sponsors.
Whoa.
So this is actually from the Parks and Rec scrapbooks that we have in our collection. So the Halloween party Saturday night on the square was too successful, perhaps for its own good. How do we get one of those?
I know.
Too successful.
Too successful.
So what ends up happening is there's alcohol at this event, and costumes, street dancing, all of these things. So
Sounds like my Halloween party.
I know it does, totally. The particular problems included a shortage of toilets, which, here's my favorite, which pressed several parking lots into service as necessary.
Oh, no.
If there's one thing Parks and Rec is very good at now is to make sure that there are plenty of porta potties.
Yes.
Just saying.
Yes.
And
we're standing on a restroom.
I think it might be closed for the festival. They're usually not open during festivals.
Okay, never mind.
But porta potties will be right down over
Okay.
here. Or you can use the museum bathrooms. Just saying.
Yes.
So it brought an undesirable element to this crowd, which sparked about 20 incidents of violence or drunken behavior. Most of them after midnight. Minors were being served alcohol, which made it more difficult to control the press of customers. So what ends up happening is they have a good crowd the first year, but the second year the crowd becomes so unmanageable.
I'm going to throw something out here. I guarantee that after, maybe not right now live, but once we post this and people start watching this video, I guarantee there's somebody out there that's going to watch it that was one of those underage minors that was drinking on the square. Guarantee it. I could probably pick a few out right now.
Probably. But it became such a huge thing that I don't think the square in Marietta had ever seen anything like that before. And so now a lot of our festivals and things like that, the planning and everything that goes into it is pretty much based off of how hard it was to manage that one.
Yeah,
So
a lot of the rules and regulations.
Right.
But it's so well managed now. I mean, there's a lot of hoops to go through.
So if you're wondering, like, why do they do X, Y, and Z? It's for our safety, your safety, and everything like that. And so we thank, again, PD and Fire for having all of this planned out. They work hard. So, again, since then, we've never had a festival that's sparked violence
I don't think so.
that I'm aware of.
I don't know. We'd have to ask the PD. They could probably tell us.
They probably.
Actually, I think there are incidents every once in a while at different festivals. We just don't hear about it.
No.
They sweep them away pretty fast.
They do. But that, again, it's a learning process. So, yeah, like, I wanted to talk about this one. There is a Halloween festival that does happen. It's Halloween Happenings in the square.
That's right.
It's the third weekend, I think, in October this month, and it is a city event. There will be costume contests. There will be pie eating.
Ooh, I might have to enter that one, seriously.
Yeah.
Especially if the pies are made by Pie Bar.
They are.
I knew it. Oh, yes. I'm going to have to start practicing, too.
Yes.
I mean, can't just go into a competition without, practicing first.
No, you gotta. We'll get you some pies. And there's also a touch a truck for any of those kiddos that love a touch a truck.
And they have the scarecrows all over the square, too, during that time, don't they?
They should, yeah.
Yeah.
They should have those.
Scarecrows all over.
So, yeah, I mean, festivals in Marietta, it may seem like they all happen at once, but they happen in the spring and the fall when the weather is nicer. If you haven't been to one, we highly recommend. We recommend this weekend.
Yes, please, please, please. Come and support us. Come say hi. Come say you're a fan of the show, History Loves Company. And, yeah, we'd love to see you.
Yes, absolutely. So what we are going to do now is end our video so we can go prep for tomorrow.
Yes.
We will be rolling out here about 7:30. So we got a lot of stuff
morning.
in the morning.
Not tonight, yeah.
I don't know. No, we'll be out here, and we hope to see you. If you have any questions about Street Fest, the Facebook page, which is Marietta Street Fest, or the website marietta.streetfest.com, should have all of your answers. If you don't see an answer to the question, you can message us on Facebook, and I'll get back to you. But also, I forgot to mention, it is a free festival.
Yes.
Because I have people ask me that. If you have a classic car, it is $10 to register that classic car. And it's from 9 to 3, and you have to stay till 3 o'clock. We do have awards out here, and you get to vote for your favorite. Thank you, Anna. And then secondly, we will have children's inflatables and crafts. The inflatables does have a small fee to it. So
it's $5 for unlimited.
$5 for unlimited, or $1 for one.
Yeah,
one bounce.
Not that
And I will preface, the inflatables are for children.
Yes.
Not us.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah. So Amy, let's go get ready for Street Fest.
Let's do it. We're
right, guys.
ready. We'll see you guys out there this weekend.
Yes, thank you for everybody
Thanks.
who did stars for us. We appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank you very
Thank you
much.
guys. Bye.